Greetings once again, you Sonic heroes. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog. We continue on with the urban warfare story. Previously, Sonic and his friends have infiltrated Dr. Eggman's Imperial City, I almost said Imperial, in order to take it down. But it's pretty tricky, drawing upon the resources of the land and being powered by artificially made gigantic Chaos Emeralds, with traps that one of which malfunctioned, causing the Diamond Cutters, Lanolin, Whisper, and Tangle to be out of phase with this dimension, able to see but not interact and be seen. However, that started to wear off. Whisper and Lanolin were recaptured, and Tangle made a desperate escape, trying to tell everyone the plan. Being chased by Metal Sonic, she was able to outpace him and make her way to the rest of the group. Previously, Shadow had used one of the fake emeralds to try to cause chaos control, but it was corrupted and sent him and Omega crashing underground. But Tangle relays the plan. Infiltrate Eggman's command center, remove any of the restrictions that would keep the energy source of the Imperial City from overloading, find Shadow, have him induce chaos control yet again, make everything go boom. Also find the Diamond Cutter. So while Sonic's team heads to face off with the Eggman, Silver's team heads underground to find and unleash Shadow and his power upon the city. Will things go according to plan, or will there be even more chaos that'll run rampant through the streets? Join me as I find out, won't you? An awesome cover by Mauro Fonseca. Sonic and the Diamond Cutters in the sights of the Eggman Empire. Alright, let's jump in. Our story this time is by Evan Stanley, art by Adam Bryce Thomas, so you know it's gonna be a good one. Colors by, not used to this person, Rick Mack, and Valentina Pinto, letters by Sean Lee, editors Riley Farmer and David Muriel. Alright, the roll call. Sonic the Hedgehog, the Blue Blur, fastest thing alive. Tangle the Lemur, excitable hero, Diamond Cutter. Whisper the Wolf, silent sniper, Diamond Cutter. Even the heavens above bring the thunder for Whisper's awesomeness. Lanolin the Sheep, Woolen Warrior, Diamond Cutter. That title always makes me think of Wu Dai Warrior from Shaolin Showdown. Amy Rose, Hammer Swinging Heroine, Restoration Ally. Miles Tails per Hour, Tech Savvy Sidekick, High Flying Genius. Silver the Hedgehog, Young Psychic Hero, Friend from the Future. Blaze the Cat, Fire Powered Princess, Friend from another dimension. Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form, Sonic's grim rival. Rouge the Bat, treasure hunting spy, restoration ally. E123, Omega, rogue super badnik, robot hunter. And Dr. Eggman, mad genius, egg enthusiast. We take up with Eggman's Plan B being activated as the mutated shards of chaos crystals continue to grow, having toppled over Eggman's command center. It has sprouted, dun dun dun, legs, and now has become the mobile egg base. We pick up inside with Tangle being chased by one of those interdimensional traps, Metal Sonic facing off with Silver Sonic, and Eggman standing over his hated enemy saying, victory does taste so good. Sonic readies himself saying, you haven't won yet, Eggman. Dr. Eggman says, haven't I? My brilliant creations are more than enough to handle you. Cubot chimes in, I'm not sure Orbot and I can take, but Orbot shushes him, saying, we're not involved in this, basically. Alright, Sonic goes in, but Eggman, I love whenever we shadow out Eggman's face and you just see his glasses and his grin, says, face it, you're out of your league, and he snaps his fingers. Tangle, who is being chased, suddenly sees the traps fly past her, and she says no, realizing what's about to happen. And just as Sonic's about to go straight for Eggman's face, the interdimensional traps surround Sonic, and they shut in on him, containing the Hedgehog. As the trap seals, Tails and Amy cry out for Sonic, while Eggman gloats saying, ha ha ha, let's see you speed your way out of that one, rodent. Yeah, I'm not sure how he's gonna get out of that. Eggman continues on saying, and I'm not done yet, sending in Metal Sonic, who speeds towards Tails and Amy, who are still shocked and taken off guard. And despite Tangle trying to stop Metal Sonic, she still can't touch anything because of the previous malfunctioning trap as she yells stop as Metal Sonic smacks Tails right in the face. And as Amy finds herself struggling against Metal Sonic, Tangle can only cry out, I won't lose anyone else. But Amy's not in a very optimistic position. But Tangle still tries to go in to try and save Amy. Oh, but she now is able to touch. The effects of the previous trap have finally worn off. And as Tangle realizes it, she says, only to find herself suddenly yanked away. By none other than Eggman. Eggman says, "You've caused a lot of trouble for me today, you know that?" And Tangle sneers back at him, trying to fight out of his grasp, saying, "Uh-oh? You think so? Let me down and I'll really show you what I can do." Yeah, Tangle desperately trying to fight out of his grasp. I think this is how many times have they come face to face like this in a menacing sense? Eggman, confident that Tangle can't do anything, says, keep workshopping those comebacks, Lemur, with Eggman not noticing Tangle's tail balling up into a fist right behind him. Oh, jeez. Eggman's playing hardball. Tangle's unable to do anything as Eggman holds his gun to her head. Jeez, that's so menacing. And Eggman tells her, "Your desperation is showing." Jeez. And now with Tangle held hostage, Tails and Amy confronted with Metal Sonic, options ain't looking that good. As Eggman tells Tangle, "You made a serious mistake siding with these idiots." Voice then calls out, "Perhaps, but it's better than letting you have your way." Eggman is taken off guard by, how? I mean, they might have regained their physical forms, but they were in the trap. Much to Eggman and Tangle's shock, Eggman calls out, "You! Who are you people?" As Lanolin steps around the corner saying, "I believe you met our namesake, the Diamond Cutters. We serve as a small, specialized strike team that assesses danger and offers aid in extreme conditions. But mostly we intend," and Whisper comes in with her hammer, saying, "to be a problem." And she boops Eggman into Metal Sonic. I'm really curious on how they managed to escape, though. Was that other power surge? Meanwhile, we cut underground, with Rouge and Omega looking on, as Silver desperately tries to get Shadow out of the crystal that he's been encased in. Wait, wasn't it Yellow lost issue? As Silver makes his way further in towards Shadow, trying to pull the crystal shards off of him. Shadow weakly says, "Get away." Silver says, "You're awake?" While Shadow struggles to say, "There's so much energy building. It's like noise in my head. I'm fine. Go. Your effort is of no use." God, Evan, you've been working with Ian too long. As Silver says, "No use? No use!" "I'm not giving up that easily, and neither are you. You're the ultimate life form, aren't you? Are you going to let an overgrown rock tell you what to do?" Silver says as he unleashes his power, managing to break Shadow free in this awesome display of art. Like, Adam with the business! And it even knocks Silver onto his butt, and as Shadow regains himself, Silver questions, "Well?" And Shadow says, "You're right. I am the ultimate." So was it Silver's power or Shadow's power that got him out? Or is this just a pep talk? Meanwhile, back in the command center, Tails excitedly asks, "It looked like the trap partially displaced your bodies, but with the city's computer systems offline, you all shifted back into normal space." Okay, so it was that momentary disruption that allowed them to come back. Meanwhile, Tangle's in the back holding Whisper's hand, tears in her eyes, saying, "I thought that you guys..." Lanolin takes off her bell, saying, "We're back now. That's what matters." And as she activates her Wispon, she says, "Now let's get out of here," firing off her sound vibration blast. Man, that bell is cool. As that vibration just shatters some of the floor in the window. Eggman gets pissed, saying, "Impossible! My city is perfect! Metal! Crush them!" And so Metal Sonic goes rushing in. Amy readies her hammer, and Tails looks scared, but he readies himself too. But before Metal can get any closer, Tails says, "And Sonic was caught in the same trap, so..." And suddenly Sonic, right in front of Metal. and he immediately boots Metal right in the face before he can do anything, sending Metal crashing through the window, plummeting towards the city. And using that hole, the Diamond Cutters bail, using Whisper's hover setting on her Wispon. She tells him time to go, takes Tangle's hand as they jump out the window, with Lanolin hanging on to Tangle's tail. Meanwhile, inside, Sonic is kicking Eggman's gun to the side before he steps it, destroying it, while Orbot is trying to help Eggman up, saying, "Are you alright, boss? Nothing broken?" But Eggman gets up, marching towards Sonic, saying, miserable meddling creatures, while Sonic readies himself, saying, "You know you've taken this too far, Eggman. You know what I'm gonna do next?" He says with a almost sinister smirk. And as Eggman tries to rush Sonic, like geez, Sonic jumps out the window to the city below. He's caught by Amy, who's being held aloft by Tails, with Amy saying, "Gotcha." Tails says, "Where to now? There's nowhere to land, as the city is being overgrown by crystal," with one of them almost getting Sonic in the air. Yeah, the entire city is collapsing from all the overgrown chaos crystals. We see on top of one of them, Shadow, with Silver next to him floating in the air, saying, "We yeah, yeah," while Omega has Rouge and Blaze on his back. Are they just riding the crystals, surfing them through the city? Meanwhile, Eggman has gotten into some cockpit saying, "Curse that power-guzzling security system. Those dimensional traps were a waste of time and energy. So they want to keep playing. Fine, let's play. I'll bury this whole project here and now along with all of you." He's taking control of his mobile egg command center. Meanwhile, riding on one of the legs is Metal Sonic, who jumps onto one of the backs of the flying Robo-Turtles, riding it off, more than likely chasing down Sonic. Oh, yep, sure enough. And he grabs Sonic right out of Amy's grasp. And down below, Rouge, Blaze, and Omega watch, while Rouge cries out, "No!" while Omega says, "Yes!" Like, Omega, come on, man. Oh, he says, "Commencing obliteration, high-level badnik detected." He's happy because he has Metal Sonic in his sights, as Omega prepares his Gatling gun. Blaze readies herself as well, saying, "We cannot let our comrades fight alone," while Rouge is less than enthusiastic about this, saying, "Sure, why not? I love throwing myself into danger." And they all go chasing after Sonic, with Omega firing his Gatling gun at the robot. Omega saying, "Abandon your inferior transportation and fight me directly," with Blaze also blasting off some fire at Metal Sonic. It hits the robot Turtle, sending both Sonic and Metal Sonic plummeting, but they grapple in midair. As Sonic says, "Sorry dude, but you gotta learn when to quit." And Sonic kicks Metal Sonic down, and Omega sees his chance, fires off his Gatling gun, and unloads right into Metal Sonic's back. Rouge then manages to catch Sonic in air, and Sonic looks down at Metal falling to the city, saying, "Until next time, Metal." Meanwhile, Amy, Tails, Whisper, Tangle, and Lanolin find themselves on a crystalline platform somewhere in the city, as Eggman calls out, "I've worked too hard to let this city go. I'm going to take you apart," as he starts firing upon the city from his command fortress. We then cut to Silver and Shadow on another platform, with Silver, trying to keep his balance, saying, "How many hits like that can we take?" And Shadow calmly says, "Enough to win this fight." He then begins to concentrate his energy, saying, "This city is a true monument to your hubris, Doctor. I'll show you the monster you've made. Chaos Control!" Oh man, and Shadow starts summoning more and more crystalline spires. Oh no. Eggman says, "What? You teleported my emeralds?" So he's bringing them up from underground and across the city. Basically surrounding Eggman's mobile fortress, knocking it off balance. And Shadow says, "I'm not done. These perverse emeralds connected to your entire city, and with them under my control, you've built your own cage. Chaos Control! And yeah, Shadow just keeps surrounding Eggman's fortress with more and more of these misshapen giant crystals, knocking it off balance, cutting into the legs out from under it, with Eggman only being able to say, "What? No! Curse you!" leaving Eggman trapped. And as Rouge lets Sonic down next to Blaze, Sonic looks on and says, okay. He turns to Blaze asking, "I gotta get up there fast. Give me a boost?" And as Blaze takes Sonic's hand, she says, "It would be my pleasure." They go rushing across several of the emeralds towards Eggman, and Blaze launches Sonic right at Tails and Amy, as Sonic says, "Coming at you, Ames. Keep it going." Amy says, "You got it," and uses her hammer to launch Sonic further up. Sonic ends up in midair right above Silver and Shadow as he says, "Let's finish this." We then have Whisper and Tangle holding each other's hand as they join in, with Tangle flinging her tail towards Sonic, who grabs it as Whisper prepares her rocket wisp. And Eggman pleads, "Wait, Sonic, you don't understand. If my city fails, there'll be nothing left to divert power away from the artificial emerald network." We then have Tangle holding on to Whisper, who rockets up with the rocket wisp, so that Whisper, Tangle, and Sonic are above the mobile command fortress. As Eggman pleads, "Their destructive power is incalculable. I'm the only one who can prevent it." But Sonic says, "Yeah, right. Pleading doesn't suit you, Doc." And while in midair, Tangle whips around, launching Sonic at Eggman's fortress, and Eggman can only scream in rage as Sonic hits the fortress with an immeasurable impact. As Amy cheers and Sonic says, "Sayonara City." Geez, even more rage shots from Eggman. Good stuff. As Eggman's command center collapses, Rouge looks on delighted. Lanolin looks on, a little worried about how much damage she's seeing. Sonic, Tangle, and Whisper land on a nearby crystal, but then suddenly Shadow pushes Silver, saying, "Go. Protect the others unless you want to lose them." Silver questions, "Protect from what? Eggman's done." But Shadow explains, "The doctor wasn't bluffing. These emeralds are about to explode, taking the entire city with them." We then cut to Whisper, Sonic, and Tangle making their way to the others, as Silver tries to gather up everyone else, saying, "Get close, guys. This place is gonna blow." Meanwhile, Shadow is standing over the city on one of the crystals. He then uses Chaos Control. We then cut to Sonic, Tangle, and Whisper on the ground, with Silver having everyone else float above with him. Shadow then suddenly appears next to them, with Sonic asking Shadow, "Did you?" And then you see in the sky all the emeralds, I guess, just lighting up right then and there. I gotta admit, in certain places it was kinda hard to make out what was going on. But I get the feeling because Sonic, Tangle, and Whisper hadn't hit the ground, I think Shadow, teleported most of the emeralds and everything connected to them into the sky where they wouldn't do any harm. So basically everyone got very, very lucky. We then cut to later where everyone's having a picnic. Rouge hanging upside down holding something. Sonic chilling out under a tree. Belle and Tails looking at Whisper's veritable Wispon. Blaze hanging out with Silver, and Tangle hanging out with Whisper. Nice little scenic day. Belle says, "And I was worried that the new parts wouldn't conduct hyper-go-on properly, but it looks like it worked fine." Oh right, they had to repair Whisper's Wispon after what happened with Surge. Tails says, "Did you synthesize a custom polymer? Or maybe a molecular reconstruction of the original material?" Belle says, no. It's mostly whatever I could pull out of the old Chaos drives we had laying around." And in comes Amy and Jewel holding a very delicious looking cake. As Amy says, "Ta-da, cake's ready." Rouge seems to be holding like an echidna relic. Rouge then says, "Gosh, it's almost too pretty to eat." Amy says, a little aggravated, saying, you better eat some, because I worked hard on this. I picked up a thing or two from Van? What was she about to say? But she then turns to Rouge, saying, "Rouge, what is that?" Rouge hides what she had, saying, "Nothing, just a little souvenir I picked up in Eggman's trophy room." Amy says, "Nothing. My foot. That looks like an echidna artifact. It should be returned to Angel Island where it belongs. It belongs in a museum! And you see Jewel losing balance with the cake, only for Tails to help her keep it aloft, while Rouge floats down to Amy saying, I suppose, but the island is so far, and this old thing is so heavy. Amy says, then I'll do it. I'm sure Knuckles will be happy to have it back. Ooh, a plot point? Rouge says, fine, tell him he owes me one. Amy then turns saying, wait, where's Sonic? As Jewel cuts everyone a piece of cake, and Tails says, oh, he ran off. You know how he is. With Amy getting huffy saying, what? Dang it, Sonic. Could have at least waited for a piece of cake. We see Sonic running through Green Hill. Next time, Amy on Angel Island. Okay, so it was a plot point. I will say that wasn't really my favorite. It had some good moments, and the coming together of the Diamond Cutters was pretty fun. Lanolin seemed to peace out. She didn't even stick around for cake. And usually I love the stories that have a whole bunch of characters, especially back in the Archie days, like Treasure Team Tango, or Hedgehog Havoc, or the Champions arc. But this one, it feels like some of the details kind of gotten lost along the course of things. If anything, I would say that certain things just felt a little bit unnecessary and a little padded out. Like, Shadow being kind of indisposed for the moment felt a little like, just to give Silver a little bit more of something to do. Blaze really didn't do that much. Rouge didn't really do that much. It was great to have them, but at the same time, it's kind of like, the Diamond Cutters were fun up to a point, and I almost feel like they shouldn't have even been trapped. Like, the fear of getting trapped was there, but it almost feels like, Sonic, Amy, and Tails should have just made their way to the command center, met up with the Diamond Cutters, and confronted Eggman. Like, I'm not saying the plot beats were bad, it just felt like we were kind of spinning our wheels a little bit. I don't know, I don't want to be down on it. It's just that sometimes Evan's stories just aren't as grandiose as I feel that they need to be in certain aspects. Like, the premise is always strong, but as it goes on, it's just like, it hits a point that I'm just like, okay, kind of feels like you could have ended it here. Which could sometimes be a problem with a lot of the Archie stories. Sometimes there was like a middle section that felt like it could have been just taken out, or some storylines would last a little bit longer than they needed to. Not a bad story, just an unnecessarily long one. Like, Archie has gotten me in a frame of mind to, whenever I see like something, it's just like, oh, this will lead into this, and this will lead into that, and this will probably have something happen later down the line. But with the nature of IDW comics, that's not always the case. So yeah, I really don't know. Again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm hating on this. Just wasn't my favorite. So I'm looking forward to the next story arc. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How did you feel about the resolution of this one? Was it hit? Was it miss? What was your favorite part? Honestly, the biggest selling part for me was Lanolin. Just seeing her in action from time to time. And seeing what her Wisp button could actually do. So I look forward to seeing more of her and the Diamond Cutters. It was cool to see Shadow in action, teaming up with Silver. That was nice. I just wish they were actually up against more than just a city. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. And so that way you won't miss out on more IDW Sonic the Hedgehog. And until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.